here we are with top 5 scariest horror movies ever. That will leave you with hunt and thrilled. Are you ready to gather your courage, turn down the lights, and dive into the world of terrifying tales? Welcome to our countdown of the top 5 most twisted and terrifying horror films of all time. At number 5 on list of the most terrifying horror films of all time, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. A film that will leave you gasping for breath and gripping to your seat. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Released in 1974, this cult classic follows a group of friends on a road trip that takes a terrifying turn when they stumble upon a cannibalistic family in the middle of Texas. And of course, we can't talk about this film without mentioning the iconic villain himself, Leatherface. With his grotesque appearance and deadly weapon of choice, he has become a horror icon and a staple in slasher films. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre will have you on the edge of your seat as you follow the group's desperate attempts to escape the clutches of this twisted family. With its raw and gritty atmosphere, this film will leave you feeling disturbed and unsettled. And just when you think the nightmare is over, the ending will leave you with a chilling feeling that will stick with you long after the credits roll. Number 4 is The Shining. Released in 1980 and directed by the legendary Stanley Kubrick, The Shining is a psychological thriller that will leave you on the edge of your seat. Starring the amazing Jack Nicholson as the lead character, Jack Torrance, this movie is a must-watch for all horror fans. The movie is set in an isolated hotel, the Overlook Hotel, during the winter season. Jack, a struggling writer, takes up a job as the caretaker of the hotel with his family for the winter. As Jack works on his writing, the hotel starts to consume him. He slowly descends into madness, driven by supernatural forces lurking within the hotel. The hotel's past and its dark secrets slowly start to unravel, and Jack's sanity is pushed to the brink. What follows is a terrifying journey through the mind of a man who is losing grip on reality. With stunning visuals and Kubrick's masterful direction, The Shining is a visually stunning film that will leave a lasting impression on you. And who can forget the famous "Here's Johnny" scene, which has become a staple in popular culture. The movie is also known for its eerie atmosphere and memorable scenes, such as the haunting twin girls in the hallway and the never-ending maze. The Shining is not just a horror movie, but it's also a commentary on isolation, the human psyche, and the power of the mind. So if you're a fan of psychological thrillers or just looking for a good scare, The Shining is a must-watch. Its chilling atmosphere, incredible performances, and unforgettable scenes make it a true masterpiece in the world of horror. At number 3, we have The Conjuring, released in 2013. Directed by James Wan, this spine-chilling film is based on a true story. The movie follows the story of the Perron family, who move into a farmhouse in Rhode Island and experience terrifying paranormal activities. Desperate for help, they turn to renowned paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. This movie is praised for its suspenseful plot, exceptional performances, and terrifying jump scares. The chemistry between the lead actors, Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, adds depth to the characters and heightens the sense of fear. The farmhouse itself plays a major role in creating an eerie atmosphere. With its creaking doors, flickering lights, and hidden rooms, it becomes a character in its own right, adding to the already tense ambience. One of the most memorable scenes is the exorcism sequence, inspired by the real-life exorcism performed by Ed and Lorraine Warren. The intense and frightening performance by young actress Joey King will leave you on the edge of your seat. Behind the scenes, the crew used practical effects and minimal CGI, adding to the authenticity of the movie. By using real-life recordings of the Warrens, the filmmakers were able to bring the story to life in a more chilling way. The Conjuring has become a modern horror classic, spawning a successful franchise with several sequels and spin-offs. With its gripping storyline, talented cast, and terrifying scares, it's no wonder this movie has earned its spot as one of the best horror films of all time. Number 2 is Hereditary. What comes to mind when you hear the word hereditary? Is it something passed down from generation to generation? In the case of the 2018 horror film Hereditary, it's exactly that. Hereditary tells the story of the Graham family, who after the death of their mysterious grandmother, start to uncover their dark and disturbing family secrets. As the story unfolds, we see the family being tormented by supernatural forces that seem to be connected to their family's past. Toni Collette gives a gripping performance as Annie Graham, the mother of the family. Her character's grief, guilt, and fear all add to the movie's suspense and terror. The slow build-up of tension throughout the film leaves you on the edge of your seat, waiting for the next chilling moment. Along with the exceptional acting, Hereditary also excels in its cinematography and sound design. The use of wide shots and long takes perfectly captures the isolation and unease of the family's home. The soundtrack also adds to the overall creepiness of the film, making it a truly immersive experience. While this film is categorized as a horror, it also delves into deeper themes such as grief, mental illness, and family dynamics. It's not your typical jump scare fest, but rather a thought-provoking and disturbing journey into the depths of a family's secrets. So if you're in the mood for a bone-chilling and thought-provoking horror film, Hereditary is a must-watch. And finally, taking the coveted #1 spot on our list, we have The Exorcist. In the world of horror, there are few films that can truly claim the title of a masterpiece. But if there is one film that has stood the test of time and remains a classic in the genre, it is without a doubt The Exorcist. Released in 1973, The Exorcist tells the terrifying tale of a 12-year-old girl named Reagan who becomes possessed by a demonic entity. As her mother and doctor struggle to find a medical explanation for her changes in behavior, they turn to two priests to perform an exorcism in an attempt to save her soul. The Exorcist is not just a horror film. It is a psychological thriller that delves into the depths of human fear and explores themes of faith, religion, and the battle between good and evil. Its groundbreaking special effects and chilling story have cemented its place as one of the greatest horror films of all time. The Exorcist has been praised by critics and audiences alike, with many calling it a cinematic masterpiece. Its impact on the horror genre is undeniable, inspiring countless films and even an entire subgenre known as possession horror. The iconic poster of the film, featuring the silhouette of a priest in front of a looming house, has become a pop culture phenomenon. The film's success also led to a line of merchandise, including t-shirts, toys, and even a theme park ride. The Exorcist has stood the test of time, remaining a popular film to this day. It has been screened at numerous film festivals and has won various awards, solidifying its place in cinematic history. So, if you're a fan of horror films or simply appreciate a well-crafted story, The Exorcist is a must-watch. And there you have it, with top 5 scariest horror movies of all time. These films have stood the test of time and continue to haunt audiences to this day. We hope you enjoyed this list, but remember to watch at your own risk. Here are some few other movies to watch. Click on the video to watch other movies list. Until next time, stay safe and stay scared.